Hey guys, me again. Quick sip of tea, I think, before I start. Right, it's gonna be a quick one today because I was super shocked by something that happened the other day. So as you know, the foot started to feel better. The pain I was having on the foot, and so I thought to myself, I'm gonna carry on with the squats that I was doing because I was doing a lot of squats and I was doing a lot of calf raises and just general like looking after the muscles in the warm up before I did anything. Plus, as you can tell by this massive cardigan, it's been so cold in England at the moment, like really, really cold. They're threatening like loads of snow and whatever. So I thought to myself, well, I've got the treadmill. I'm going to use the treadmill. Jumped on the treadmill and took it really easy to start off with, and then thought to myself, I'll just like slowly build up on that and like up the speed and etc. But then I had a bit of I'm not sure what the issue is at the moment, but the distances aren't matching up. I know how long it takes me to roughly jog for that 1 kilometre that we talked about, lamppost to lamppost, traffic lights to corner, whatever. But I know roughly how long it takes me to do that. When I do that on the treadmill, the distance is completely different. So there's a bit of a kind of like, like how the distances are matching up and everything like that, which I'll sort it all out. But because of that, I thought to myself, well, usually I'll go certain distance and then I know roughly how much time that takes me. And then I will stop and like start walking and then do another bit of jogging, maybe stop again, another bit of jogging. Well, not stop as in stop, but walk and then jog off again. But I thought to myself, well, I'll just do time, like I say, because I know roughly how much time it takes. So I'll just do that much time on the treadmill. But then I was feeling good and it was working. I mean, I was absolutely sweating like no man's business, I tell you. It was so funny. And like, one of my kids was like, "You all right, Dad?" And I was just like, pouring. I was like, "Yeah, give me a towel." So that was funny. But because I felt okay and everything seemed to be working all right and the speed was okay and the treadmill was working good, I just carried on and did a little bit more time-wise and then, etc. And then I thought to myself, it's a nice day. I think it was, I think we finally broke like double figures and got to like 10 degrees or something, or 11 degrees, which at the moment is like tropical over here because it's like so cold. So I thought, right, I'm going to go out and do the actual jog in the on the little route that I do over there. So I was just like, because I did the warm up, like I said, I did all the warm up, me, like the stretches and all this that we were, can't see it on the camera, there you go, big boot on the shot there, doing all the stretches and pulling the foot around and doing the squats and doing the calf raises, and there's these other ones I do, which is, they're basically arse exercises, glutes and butt exercises, to make all your butt muscles lovely, and they are absolute, oh my goodness, you can tell you've done them, do you know what I mean? And then the day after, you can tell you've done them times 100. It's just, wow. I'll show them to you one day, they're proper funny. So anyway, doing all the exercises, everything's great, feeling good. So then I walk for about 20 minutes, give or take, not sure, walk for about 20 minutes-ish, go down the road, and I go up this little hill, and quickly, while I'm remembering that, the treadmill that I use is on it's constant at 4 degree, That's just the way it's made. So it's constant at 4 degree. So you're kind of always pushing it a little bit more. I don't know if that's helped. I don't know. Walk down the road, get to the traffic lights, go up to the top of the hill where the other traffic lights are. Join the usual route. I'm just like, right, I'm just gonna go and see what happens. So start plodding along, really, really slow, joggy pace, like, you know, and I'm like, okay, breathing okay, things are feeling all right. These trainers I'm wearing here, these are the Hokas that I haven't showed you yet. These are the Mach 4. You can get these for like 50 quid now. They're so nice, so cushioned, so comfy. So if you do get a chance, you know, grab a pair, dirt cheap somewhere. Right, yeah. So start plodding along. Things are feeling great. I'm like, oh, okay, I can handle this. I can handle this. And it's quite a nice flat ground. I mean, it's just a normal path, you know, and it's quite flat ground. And then there's this busy bus stop, so I did have to like go down the curb and then into the unevenish road, and then I had to come like back up the curb and everything like that. So it wasn't like just perfectly flat. There was a few like tests there for the legs and things. So I was like, okay, this is going all right. This is going all right. So carry on going. And I know exactly, like, kind of, I get to a point and then I turn around, I come back, and I've got a rough idea of where my watch will normally beep and say, there's your kilometre. So I'm heading towards that and I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, still feeling good. Watch goes, and usually that's where I'd stop and then I'd start the walk. But I was feeling okay. So I was like, right, I'm just going to carry on. So I carried on. And I just kept going and kept going. And then I come back down towards the top of the hill, like this end. And I got to that bit and I was like, what do I do? What should I do? Should I just keep going backwards and forwards? And I was like, oh, I'll go downhill. So I went down the hill, which does kind of give your legs a little bit of a break, but then it starts messing up on different muscles on your legs. You know, your other muscles are like, well, I'm going downhill. So I'm not talking like, you know, that. I'm talking like whatever. Run down here, get to the bottom of there, and then I'm like, okay, now what? And I'm right near my house, like, so I literally just stopped and I'd come home, but I was like, I'm just going to keep going. This feels fine. But also, in my head, I was freaking myself out because I was like, where's this coming from? Like, this has just appeared overnight and I don't understand, you know. So I was kind of like freaking myself out with it. Like, I was like, what do I do? What do I do? So I just kept on going, you know, plodding along, this, that, and the other. And then I think I got to about 3.3 kilometres, which, so you're talking like, you know, nearly, what's that, 2,300 metres more than usual, if you see what I mean, because I've gone from the 1,000 right up. And I got to that and I was like, I still don't know what to do. And I was kind of like in shock. I was running in shock. I was like, this just ain't happening. And like I say, my legs, yeah, I mean, I could feel that I'd been running for like, what was it by then? It was about 25 minutes by then. So I was like, what do I do? I plodded along for a little bit more, and I just thought to myself, right, on the next 100, that's it. I'm just going to stop, because I think I got to that point where, like I say, I was just in this mad place of shock, and I wasn't quite sure what to do. So it ended up being 3,400. So 3.4 kilometres. So not far from 5,000, which, as we've spoken about, is like a park run or catch to 5k, you know, as we spoke about again. And then I just kept like going along. Can you hear that? There's a small child opening the door. Yeah, so it got to about 3,400, which is, like I say, that's like 2,400 more than usual. And, you know, probably about nearly 20 minutes ish more than usual, or 15 to 20 minutes more than usual. And I just sat there and I sat there, come home, and I was just like, what on earth was that all about? And I was so, I even put it on when I uploaded it on Garmin. I even changed the name of it to, I'm not quite sure how I managed that, because I wasn't sure how I managed that. Like I was like, what? Where did this come from? I started to think to myself, okay, so I was sort of, obviously with the smoking, we've been cutting down on smoking, trying to get that under control. I also had this crazy cough, like we all had it in the house, and that lasted longer than it should have. But obviously, you know, without being too gross and nasty and whatever, but you know, your lungs clear a lot of the crap. So, and then I was like, yeah, and of course I've had those ones on the treadmill where I pushed it a little bit further or went for a little bit further. And I kept thinking to myself, it's just because I've been doing, you know, I've been doing it slowly and plodding along. And then I've pushed it a little bit just to see where the limit was and everything like that. And then I thought to myself, also as well, was I like, without even realising it, was I like going too fast before? Was I pushing it and looking at the clock, you know, looking at the timer on my watch without realising it? All these questions, and I just couldn't work out which one was like. And I was just trying to work out the reasons why and how it had happened, which was really funny because you know, I was just like, oh, I don't believe it, and you know, I'm still kind of a little bit kind of like, I don't believe it now. Since then, I've been on the treadmill, and I know that was like 21 minutes or something along those lines, and then there was a few little bits after it, just like just a quick one, and I had to recalibrate it, which means you have to do these 3 different speeds for certain times, and there's all these little things. But it's again, it's more time jogging, not stopping, than, you know, run, walk, which is what I've just been thinking about it. And I really do. I reckon, I do actually reckon that I was looking at times when I shouldn't have been. Like, I do think I was like, looking at my watch and thinking, oh, I need to go faster, and then without realising it, push it too much, and etc. And then obviously, like I say, I think my lungs are being a bit nicer to me at the moment because I'm being nicer to them, so that kind of helps. But yeah, I was just kind of in shock, and then I thought to myself afterwards, so I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, all that, you know, how did I manage that? And then I was thinking to myself, if I'd just carried on for a little bit longer, I would have hit a 5k. But again, I was like, oh, I think I stopped kind of like where I should have. It was such a weird kind of like, it was just like, wow, you know, and I was like all like freaked out and that. So watch this space, as they say, because I don't know where the next one's going to go. I actually want to go out like as soon as I get the opportunity, which I don't know when it'll be. I want to go out and I want to just plod along and see if, you know, see how far the next one takes me, or how much time the next one can be. And it's just, it's so weird, but it also kind of means that it's kind of working in a way, you know, everything that I've been doing, the really slow build up is kind of working. Because, I mean, I bought these trainers back in like August last year, you know, end of summer, or when it was still lovely, and I bought them back then, and then, like I say, hurt another knee, didn't I? Hurt another knee, then I hurt the foot, and there's been little bits in and out, bits and bobs. So there's not really been much consistency to it, and to be fair, I can't actually say there's a lot of consistency to it now. It's like once or twice a week, and a little bit more since I've had the treadmill. But you know, I'm still not classing myself as like a runner or a jogger or anything like that. This is just something that I've been tinkering with till I get it right. And like I say, maybe everything was just working out, you know, like the pain had gone, so I wasn't worrying about my foot hurting, I wasn't worrying about anything like that, so everything just felt right and felt good, so I just went for it. And that's kind of like, it was kind of like a nice thing as well, because all I've ever kind of, well, not all I've ever thought about, but just saying to yourself, right, I'm going to go for a jog today. And then you go down the road like for half an hour, then you turn around and you come back So you've like jogged for like an hour, really great exercise, exactly what you want to do, and you know, and then you just go home. And even though the other day was only about 25, whatever it was, 25, 27 minutes or something like that, it kind of made me think that now that is like something doable, because I would, like I say, I'd do a little bit, I'd stop, walk, but actually to just say, right, I'm going to go down there, 15 minutes, turn around, come back half an hour, and I've done a really nice exercise jog there. And my heart rate was, well, that's one thing. The heart rate stayed in the threshold, which is 4. If you check things like that on your watch or your phone, it stayed in zone 4. But the lower end of it, so that was kind of good, but I need to lower that down. So even though I was going super slow, I'm going to have to do that through the breathing, because if it went any slower, I'd be like just fast walking or something, you know. But yeah, I thought I'd update you all on it, because it's just, like I say, what a shock. I'm even going to probably call this video, how did I manage that, like I did with the Garmin thing. Because how did I manage that? And I suppose it is just kind of proof that it doesn't matter how long it takes. If you just keep plugging away, it will get better. And like I say, when I did the long video on Couch to 5K, so if I was doing the Couch to 5K and I'd said 6 weeks, I'd have quit after whatever, because I'd have thought, you know, I'd have got to a point where I was failing. So I was like, all right, I failed. And then I'll quit, and then I'll sulk for a bit, and then I'll come back and start it again, and then, I don't know, it might have got a bit better, it might have failed again, but it might have just carried on like that. Whereas with this one, so if you say August, let's say September, start of September, just to make it kind of easier to look at. So if you say September, you've got like what? So you've got all of September, October, November, December, January, February, and we just started March. So you're looking at about 6 months to reach that point. And obviously we've had to throw some injuries in there. We've obviously got to throw the quitting smoking in there. So there's loads of different factors going in there, you know, weather, illness, just life basically, you know, just life. If you throw it in there, and it throws you off your routine in the first place, unless you can really fit these things in. So, but yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just shocked by it all. It just shocked me. I'm not going to say that it's the new benchmark, like the 3.4K. I'm not going to say that's the new benchmark. But if I go out now and I'll do the normal route like I've been doing forever, and I think I'll just keep going until I need to stop. If I freak myself out again, I can't believe that. Like literally, you know, people, oh, I hurt my knee, so you know, my knee started to twinge, so I stopped, or oh, I just couldn't run anymore, I ran out of breath, and all these things. And there's me. I went so far without stopping. I freaked myself out, so I had to stop. That's just, you know, as reasons go, I had to pick the funny one, didn't I? I had to pick the weird one. Yes, I'm just going to go with that. I'm just going to plod along, blah, 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 go with that. And we'll just see how it goes. But updates to come, obviously, because it was pretty mad, pretty crazy session out on the road. And you never know what I'm going to say next time. You never know. But please, if you come across these videos and you're, you know, oh yeah, I'll never be able to do it, Couch to 5K seems impossible, watch the other videos, look at that kind of thing, and just, like I say, if it's Couch to 5K in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever, just forget that bit, just take that bit off. Couch to 5K in however long it takes, okay? That's the philosophy to it. And I will try and get another one out at the end of the week, because I'll, like I say, I'm gonna try and fit another one in. So actually, what I'll do, I'll try and get one in this week outside as best as I can, depending on the weather, because I think we've got some heavy rain and possibly the entire country is going to be covered in snow, etc. You know, let's see what happens. But the next time I do it, I'll come back and I'll update as soon as I possibly can afterwards, so that we all know what's going on. All right then, another sip of tea. Yeah, very dry mouth when you're doing YouTube. Right, so I'm going to go, and I will speak to you next time. All right, guys. See you later.